Wanting a fast, fun, and reasonably priced car doesn't mean your only option is getting a small, lonely two-seater with no cargo space. It is also possible to send other cars to Gapplebee's with your back seats full of people like... So here are the 10 quickest American SUVs you can find for under $20K. Let's get into it. Let me know if I missed any good SUVs here or what videos you want to see in the future, and thank you to Edgar Zambrano for requesting this one. Also, gingerly poking the big old thumb and subscribe buttons is always very appreciated if you enjoy. And here's my typical car info disclaimer on screen for too little time for you to actually read it. Starting out with numero 1, we've got the 16 to 18 Lincoln MKX all-wheel drive with a 6.4 second 0 to 60 time from Motor Trend. These had twin-turbo to 2.7-liter V6s making 335 horsepower and a fairly whopping 380 pound-feet of torque. Normally, I'd try to have more interesting facts about the cars, but I really feel like there's not much to say about these. The time is decent, the looks are decent, the interior is pretty nice, but they're kind of like the spaghetti and meatballs of quick SUVs. They're good all around and a safe bet, but way less people would be like, oh my god, you got a Lincoln MKX? Next up is one that people will probably have feelings about, good or bad, and it's the Ford Flexes with all-wheel drive and twin-turboed 3.5-liter engines. I didn't think these existed for a long time, but then about a month ago, my friends and I walked past one, and after seeing a twin-turbo badge on the side of it, we were left with many questions.
What about the mysterious behavior of the barbecue lid?
Could a plant really identify a murderer?
Is it possible that a parrot could give a young girl the will to live?
But yeah, they do exist, and using a whole 365 horsepower, they can reach 60 in 6.2 seconds. The downside to these, assuming you're not one of those people who absolutely hates the way they look, is that the listings aren't super easy to find and prices are a little all over the place. I think it's just because both engine options are 3.5-liter V6s, but CarGurus wouldn't let me filter by engine, and the listings there just said the base engine and nobody included engine pictures. And because that wasn't working and Facebook Marketplace's search is just about as stupid as a cricket trying to play poker against a bunch of fried eggs, I even tried to figure out a good price range from Auto Trader's website. Coming in as the third SUV today, we've got the 18 and newer manual Jeep Wrangler Sport and Sport S, which hit 60 in 6.1 seconds according to Car and Driver. I'm a little surprised a Wrangler made it on the list since any V8 versions would be way more expensive. But this one did, even having just a slightly updated version of the previous V6 and only making 285 horsepower and 260 pound-feet of torque. The downside to these though, unless you do want the bougie Sport S, is that the Sports don't come standard with AC, power windows, or power locks.
Is this some sort of peasant joke that I'm too rich to understand?
Next up is the Lincoln Nautilus 2.7 Turbo, which replaced the MKX in 2019. With the 2.7-liter EcoBoost V6 making 335 horsepower, these can hit 60 in 5.9 seconds. They definitely don't strike me as any enthusiast car though. They look nice as a car, but not particularly exciting and seeming to cost between 19 and 26 grand. They just barely made it in budget. They do seem like the type of randomly quick ride that your one really nice and harmless aunt would own, or that one cool/weird grandparent.
I came here for two things: to suck some hard candy.
As a slightly more hip option though, next is the Ford Explorer Sport from 2013 to 19 and Platinum from 2016 to 19. These both have the same engines and such similar times that I figured I'd just wrap them together. They get 5.8 second 0 to 60 times with a 3.5-liter twin-turbo V6, the same engine that's in the Raptors. These strike me much more as an enthusiast's choice, probably because of the newer ST trims being more outspoken, even though those also cost like 35 to 40 grand. The price range I saw for both of these trims was around 18 to 28,000. I originally thought the Platinums would be much more expensive, but it didn't seem like too much of a difference from the Sports, and 18K for one of these really doesn't seem like a bad deal to me. Next is the 2011 to 21 Jeep Grand Cherokees with V8s making 360 horsepower and 390 pound-feet of torque. In 2018, Car and Driver was able to get one of these to 60 in 5.7 seconds. They seem to cost between 14 and 30 grand, which I know know is a huge range, but it's just because of the 10 years they were built. There are other cars here priced close to $14,000, but in general, these would definitely be the easiest car to find around the bottom of the range because of how common they are. The annoying part is that the trims don't neatly differentiate the engine that they come with, so it'll be more annoying finding one with a V8 than just searching for one of the 50 trims that they have. The V6s aren't too slow either though, with a 6.3 second time, but if you had a V8, you'd obviously have a full pass to look down on the V6 drivers like,
what an idiot! Oh, what a loser!
As another one I was surprised is as quick as it is, it's the 15 to 18 Ford Edge Sport all-wheel drive with a time of 5.7 seconds for Motor Trend. These have 2.7-liter twin-turbo V6s making 315 horsepower and 350 pound-feet of torque. I can't tell if I think these are great deals for car people driving SUVs because they're pretty cheap at 15 to 20 grand and they don't look that bad at all. But I could also imagine people saying they're just a soccer mom's car and that any car guy who got one should have gotten an Explorer, which are also mom cars, but those do look a little cooler and more like a real full SUV. If it's your car though, it's really not worth caring what other people think though, so completely forget about what I just said.
Okay.
In 2019, these were replaced by the Ford Edge ST, which does look better and has 20 more horsepower, but the ST still has the same acceleration time and was too expensive for the list. As a third to last SUV here, we've got the GMC Yukon Denali, which I didn't expect to be on here either, both because of the price and weight. They hit 60 in 5.5 seconds as tested by Car and Driver, with a 6.2-liter V8 making 420 horsepower and 460 pound-feet of torque. But they also weigh between 5,500 and 5,700 pounds.
Damn. That's a big bitch.
I originally would have guessed the only SUV near that weight with a quick 0 to 60 would be the insanely more expensive Escalade V or something, but apparently these are that quick. The downside is that with that weight, quality, and speed, it does come a higher price. I was able to find them between $19,000 and $27,000, which is almost fully out of the price range, but my area usually seems to have higher prices than what I see in the comments, and even though the deals were harder for me to find, they are out there without jeopardizing any of my condition requirements. Now, for the first of the two cars that everyone knew would be here, it's the Chevrolet Trailblazer SS with another time of 5.5 seconds from Car and Driver. These have the same 6-liter LS2 V8s that they used in the 05 to 07 Corvettes, which is pretty sweet, and they make around 400 horsepower and torque. Because of the age, how many were originally built, and how sought after they are, they definitely weren't easy enough for me to find on CarGurus, but they are out there as private sales. Prices I saw for decent ones seem to range between $12,000 and $20,000, but a lot of the ones under $15K had a little over 100,000 miles, which you might really not care about since we're talking about LS2s, but that would also break my usual cutoff. Even for those prices though, these are a really great option for anyone who wants something that's what I would call a somewhat iconic GM car. And now for the one you probably already knew would be here, the quickest American SUV for under 20K by a long shot actually, is the 06 to 2010 Grand Cherokee SRT8 with a time of just 4.5 seconds as tested by Car and Driver. They actually did a comparison test between this and the Trailblazer, so check that out if you're interested. These SRT8s had 6.1-liter V8s making 420 horsepower and 420 pound-feet of torque, can sound really wild, and have decent looks. I wasn't able to find any of these at dealerships either, but as private sales, they seem to cost between $14,000 and $19,000, which is not bad at all for that performance, but I guess you are paying that much for an almost 20-year-old car. Still though, the newer SRTs definitely seemed out of budget from what I saw, so to any new Jeep enthusiasts out there, these must be a steal. Let me know if I missed any good ones here, and as always, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day. Oh, they are gonna be pissed I forgot the Typhoon.